Thank you for joining me. Today's talk is about something I can smile about. I can smile about joy because that's what I wanted to talk to you today. Why did I want to talk to you today? I do want to know what brings you joy. I'd love to know, can you name 5 things right now that brings you joy? Now, last week, I couldn't do it. I was asked by Eddie Via to come up with those things that bring you joy. Last week, I didn't even have a minute to breathe, let alone think about something as wonderful as joy. That's why it came to me, because I realized how much I needed to. Thinking about joy, only today did I write a list because I was too overwhelmed. How many of you are busy with your day that you just run through the day, your feet hit the ground running in the morning, you don't stop until maybe your head hits the pillow sometime late that night? It can be really hard. The day can go by and you haven't really lived in joy. I'm retired from the military, but I'm not retired from life. And caregiving, taking care of the family and the home and the other things, and joining nonprofits and creating a business, all those things take time and takes your day. If you think about the list, you get really exhausted. If you think about the joy, you get energized. I think that was Eddie's point, is how do you get through your day and work on those things that bring you joy. I really love to have people around me who bring me joy and to connect with them. So it's just not a luxury. Some people think it's a luxury. It's essential for us, especially for running on empty at times. I sat down and I made a list. So here it goes. And this is not in any priority order except maybe the first, which is a hug and dancing with my husband, Doug. Those bring me unbelievable joy anytime I do that. Is there something like that for you? I want you to go ahead and put it in the comments when you listen to this, because if you can quickly name those things, that would be great. Riding my bike. I showed a picture in the preview. I just made 1,000 miles. Thanks, Chuck. A good workout gives you joy. Yep, I get it. Just like riding my bike yesterday. I like to go up the hill first. I learned that in COVID. Go up the hill first, then you coast down, and then you're not so hot and sweaty when you get home, right? So I went up the hill. What happened, about 3/4 of the way, it started pouring on me. I took out my raincoat and I looked at my odometer saying how close I was to 1,000 miles. Because once it goes 1,000 miles, it resets. I put my raincoat on and I made the rest of the trip. Even though I was ending my workout, I was so happy at the end, had to stop, take a picture, and that was my joy for the day. I do a little bit over 5 miles a day, and they add up. If you do something every day, that also brings me joy. I feel like I'm working toward a goal. Here's another. Singing along with my favorite tunes in the car by myself. My mother encourages me to sing out loud, but it's still a hard thing to get over. Do you sing in the car? I wonder. I love 60s music. Looking out on a day with the turquoise, I really love it. Joy is turquoise and teal, because teal's my favorite color. That's in honor of that. I put on this shirt today. Another thing that brings me joy is the thought of having time to be able to take a nap. Is there a window of time? I don't care if it's 10 minutes. My mom used to get so upset I could take a nap in 10 minutes. But if I could take a little nap in the middle of the day, oh, I love that. Just the thought of that I can do that. Eating is also one of those things that bring me joy. Does that bring you joy? The perfect bite. My husband loves to comment on this as he sees me meticulously cutting my food and putting it into sections. I don't do it for everything, but there's sometimes, like if you have a waffle and you have butter and you have whipped cream and you have maybe strawberries to go on top of that, oh my gosh, I like to have all of them in each bite. There's another thing. I found out our local store for the longest time did not carry them, but chunky bars. Anybody know what a chunky bar is? It's got raisins and nuts and chocolate. They had a chunky bar, so I bought it, and now over the past 3 days I've been eating it because it's one of those really big chunky bars. I also love catching up with my favorite people who lift me up and inspire me. They're filled with love and joy. Chuck came on board today. I love him. At West Point, he was such a great person to be around. He always had high energy and positive. I rarely did well in athletics there, and there was one day I actually was able to do something in a sport. If you got tested on the sport, that was a different story. I don't remember if Chuck remembers this, but when we had racquetball, we had to hit a little 1 foot box in the corner. It was hard. You had to bounce the ceiling and then hit that little box, and that was very hard for me. When I'm around people in the toughest moments who lift me up and inspire me and laugh, he was good at laughing, they just fill me with joy. Another thing that's more mental is when I figure out a life pattern and create a model to explain it. Like here, I'm going to give you acronyms because I have one for this. I have all these models I have been building. A risque model for people handling risk. I have one for terrorism. I have one for stress intelligence. I love to have models for breathing, for extreme stress. I love to have some kind of model that explains it. I can explain it to others and they can be successful because usually each of those are very difficult lesson that was for me to learn. I love to have repeatable patterns, and so I love to identify patterns and then explain it to other people. Believe it or not, I love to put together slide presentations. And most often videos now I've got AI to help me with that. The slides are something that if I want to get an idea expressed, I can do it in a slide presentation. I'm not talking about a boring 500-word slide, but something that creates and engages the audience. And just somehow it just comes to me. And then when I present it, what gives me joy is when people come back and say, that's exactly what I needed. That's exactly what I needed today. I love seeing joy in other people's eyes. How about you? Especially my daughters. I had a picture early on when she was much younger. She's riding this pony and she won the championship for that day. But if you'd seen her the day before and the day before that, trying to practice on this pony, which was not behaving at all, horrible, horrible experience for her. But she toughed it out and then she won the champion ribbon in her division, which was amazing to see. Some of you know that my mom and my mother-in-law live with us. Another thing that brings me joy is despite the fact that my mom has dementia, memory issues, and can sound like a broken record, I'm sure you've heard of that before, but she is just so joy-filled when she can sit in our living room and look out onto the ocean and see the airplanes. It's like every airplane is a new one. It reminds you of, what was that? The plane, the plane. That's exactly what it is. The joy that she has seeing every plane either taking off or landing. It's lovely to see. It really does make me smile and bring me joy. I also have a built-in cheerleader. My mom is always talking about how she loves me and how she's so impressed with something I did when we went to West Point years and years ago. We graduated 45 years ago. We have a reunion coming up, but she's grateful living with us and loves her room, loves what I've done with the room with pictures and things. Just really wonderful to be around people who have gratitude. Just love it. Of course, I didn't mention my husband's laughter. I don't know if any of you out there have heard Doug laugh, but it's quite wonderful to be around and listen to. And of course, his smile, because he always has a twinkle in his eye when he's smiling about it. When he's not smiling, which we have had lessons on how not to start a war with your face, he takes it very well and knows that if he's expressionless, it doesn't look that way. But when he's laughing and smiling, you can hear it across the room, and people are just happy to be around him. I love it when I am idea generating, when I have things and I see possibilities and ways to approach whatever the challenge is. Not seeing them as problems, but seeing, you know what, there's always leverage. Let's figure out how to get around it. It's just so much fun. I love it when people create images that match my messages. It's not always the case, but I had a wonderful artist, Georgos Magakis from Greece, who for years was helping me with images. He just would always capture the concept I was trying to project in a cartoon. It was just amazing to see. I created a book for colored cartoons, black and white cartoons that he did for me, maybe over 300, for concepts that I would come up with. Everything as simple as an iceberg with little fishy at the bottom to depict that they're underwater, but also colorful things. Oh, Christine just reminded me of the wonderful time we were together eating crepes at the Magic Pan. Yes, Christine, crepes are one of my happy places too. Love food. Not all food. I don't like cilantro. Some of you guys like cilantro. That's not my favorite. But all these other foods that we're talking about, especially crepe, I have a sweet tooth. Also because stressed is just desserts spelled backwards. So I have to eat a lot of desserts. If you have something that really stresses you out and you finally figure out, oh, that's what I need to do, that really brings me joy because I do wish that I'd learned it earlier, but the fact that I've learned it at all means that it's now something that I can apply later. One of those was most recently coming up with the term stress intelligence. I didn't know what to call what I do when I was helping people, but it really was always focused on stress or anger or something like that, and then helping them flip it quickly. Some people like to languish in it. That's not me. From an engineering perspective, I'll throw that rope up and pull myself out of the muck because I don't want to stay there any time longer than I have to. Shirzad Shamin, who is positive intelligence, he wrote the book on it, he would say that our negative emotions are not something to ignore. They are important because they give us a signal to something that we need to pay attention to. But if you keep your hand there, it's like keeping your hand on a hot stove. If you stay in that negative emotion, it's going to burn you, it's going to hurt you. I guess I always understood that. And then he explained it, which was very helpful. Stress intelligence is the way that when people take situations and get stressed out, using it as a stepping stone for something that will help them. I've always been trying to use it to say, no, this is good. I could never have done all the things that I did at West Point if I hadn't been stressed in that situation. I would never have been able to succeed at every level if I hadn't been able to deal with things in the past that served me well in the future and allowed me to take on bigger challenges, actually, allowed me to take on much bigger challenges. I do love to give talks, to share stories, practical lessons, kind of like what I'm doing here, but it's been a tough road actually doing video when you're talking. You want to know that someone's there. And people have told me when I've seen them later how much they enjoyed a video, and I had no idea. I'm okay with lagging indicators. I don't need instant gratification. Now I've been told, don't worry about what other people think, just be you. Just say what is important. And for me, giving practical lessons, I have a little fun way of doing it. I go, oh, sit. Strategies, insights, and tools. That's what I come up with. Some are all three: strategies, insights, and tools. They help people who want to learn these things and use them because they're so practical. I do love people going, oh, that was really helpful. People study breathing all the time, but I have this one breathing technique. It's called the waterfall method, and it's specifically designed to help you reset your body in 10 seconds or less when something is stressing you out. The more I remember to do it, then I will be able to do it. If you combine the waterfall method with the rest of my 4 steps that have to do with extreme stress, you make sure you're still aiming in the right direction. We have all kinds of things that can put us back and push us down. But if we understand these things, then we will be able to continue to persevere and ultimately succeed in whatever task we're looking at or whatever goal that we're trying to set for ourselves and others. Let's see. Giving hope. I don't know if you're an empath. I think, Christine, you're probably an empath because you really do get people. I learned recently I am an empath, and it explains so much in my life. I'm an energy being, and I'm very sensitive to other people's energy. Even if they have a smile plastered on their face, I can detect someone who's struggling, and instead of losing hope, help them gain hope back. There is such an amazing human being inside each of us, and I love to let it see the light because some people keep it hidden, or some people have been burned by circumstances or other people or just not trusting. When they let their inner light shine, it is just a thing to behold, and it's so beautiful. And it brings me great joy when I take someone who is not in a good place and then you see them laughing and smiling and enjoying themselves. I love that. Now, here's some real easy ones that I love. Horses. Horses I grew up with very young. Some of you have seen my pictures, very young age riding horses, but I'm happy if I'm petting them, looking at them, pictures of them, watching a video of them. That's my happy place. Loving horses. When you're around a horse, you know that you're part of something bigger. You can't just order a horse to do something. You have to be one with a horse. My friend Melanie Reeder has been doing wonderful things with her horse, Sophie. Sophie is pretty well bomb-proof because she's just taken Sophie through an exercise where they had fire and police and all kinds of things, and her horse was able to handle it. I never got my horse to be able to do that, but I'm very appreciative for those who have horses, and they're beautiful to boot. Hers is a beautiful gray. Honus, there are sea turtles here in Hawaii. Being near them, watching them, they're inspiring to me. They bring me joy. I think about them being around over, 150 million years or so. They're not fast moving, except when you're in the water. They can move away from you pretty quick with their fins. But just to be around them, they're so majestic to me. And I could just sit and watch them in slow motion. It calms me, just immediately calms me to be around them and seeing them nap. You can just imagine how tough it is out in the ocean to get their meals in the rough waves, and they come in to land and where we go and they nap. So it's really nice to see that. I also am somewhat addicted, I'll confess, to people making a difference. As you've seen the videos where they're cleaning someone's yard for free. The last one I saw, the woman was 91 years old and no one had helped her clean her yard. It took them, 2 guys, 7 hours to really do a nice job with her yard. You just know the joy that brings. She felt guilty. She wanted to pay them. I'm going to get money tomorrow. I'll pay you. She didn't have that money. It was nice to see that, no, we're going to help you. Okay? They go and they help, and they just do such a fabulous job. Saving animals from marine debris or abandoned or somehow in harm's way. Those are things that initially your heart is moved, but when you see them freed or you see them thrive, that's what I love to see. Think about joy. J, jumpstart with gratitude. Start each day noticing something that's going to light you up. Could be a sound, could be a scent, could be a smile, could be a phone call, could be something that is just going to light you up. Sometimes a picture. Jumpstart each day in the morning with gratitude. Open up to possibilities. Last week was one of those weeks just kind of blur for me. But the thing is, joy expands when we're open to it, when we notice things, when we look around us and we get surprised. When I bike ride, I get to see Mauna Kea from the bottom of the ocean to the top of the mountain. Is considered the largest mountain in the world. It's about 14,000 feet above sea level. I get to see that on the days that it's clear enough. I can look at the beauty of the planet. We have a volcano called Kilauea, and it's been active on and off for a very long time. I think we're in 21 episodes. It was active the whole time, but now it goes in little events. So you have to go quickly if you want to see it, but they have live cams. You can watch it, Kilauea live cams. That is something where you feel that we're part of something so much bigger. It's easy, especially if you live in a city or someplace like that, to be disassociated to the beauty in the world around us. I hope you get to enjoy that. When I bike ride, I get to see these yellow finches that fly around in pairs. They're lovely to behold. Even when life feels heavy, you can find and open up to possibilities. Can you guess what the why is? You deserve to have joy in your life. Life is a miracle. They'll tell you about the umpteenth odd that we are even alive. The fact that we can have a conversation like this, or you can see a video of me talking, is astounding. where we are with AI and the technology. I'm sure there's so much more we could do, but the fact is it allows us to connect with each other and reach out and get the support. Joy is anything but selfish. Joy is something that you deserve. Let it in and share it freely. In the chat, what's one thing that brings you joy, no matter how small you think that might be? Joy doesn't ignore reality. We have terrible things that are going on in this world today, but it fuels us to face it stronger, better, able to do more things, able to take what the time we have and not miss those opportunities that we might otherwise be distracted. We're complaining about things we want them to be instead of enjoying the joy that's around us. The energy you carry with you matters so much. I know it affects me deeply, and I suspect if you really look at it, it affects you as well. And something that brought it home to me about how it affects us is the gentleman who studied water. He had students, one group yelled at one sample of water, and the other ones were love and gratitude, making sure, feeling that with the water. And then he froze them and he studied them under a microscope. You could see the distortions and the problems with the water that had been yelled at. Then you could see the beautiful arrangements that happen with the water, like crystals, like you think of snowflakes. When you think that we're made up at a minimum 70% water and the rest, like our eyes, is up to 99% water, how much we are affected by the energy around us, that vibration, what we absorb, and it changes us. So choose joy. Choose joy each day. Just know that joy is really a power source. It's a gift that we give not only ourselves, but each other. Make your list. Notice those moments. Share your joy. You deserve it. Thank you for today. Love you.